That's What He Said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have a healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's a mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
Cedric D.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah, yeah. 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 That's what he said. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what he said. That ain't my fault. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. That ain't my fault. I'm just gonna lay it down like this though. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. When I say my shit, I'm gonna repeat my shit. I'm gonna make sure you understand the foundation of everything where I'm coming from. Don't get it twisted. That ain't my fault. That's what he said. That's what I said. What? That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. Wow. We gon' do it like that. Yeah. Yeah. You probably just eat ass with a baby spoon.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders. Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode. That's What I Said, the podcast. Never by myself. Y'all see my crew on. If you're on Clubhouse, you see the crew down below. If you are watching me on Facebook or YouTube, y'all already know the vibe. So without further ado, let me bring in my co-host, Connie. What's good, baby? How you doing?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Hello.
How's everybody doing? How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good.
It's a bit
warm here on the East Coast, though.
Yeah, it is hot up here. It is a little warm. But tonight I wanted to get into a conversation. Becoming wealthy is knowing the value of what you do. This was something that came to mind last week when I did my podcast. For those that missed it on Clubhouse or missed the actual conversation, I was in I guess I wouldn't necessarily say a bad type of mood or anything else like that, because I'm never in a bad mood. I think it was more on the actual conversation of being able to get people to understand what crypto is. And sometimes it's frustrating to even have that conversation, because a lot of people don't even want to open the door and say, hey, it's something brand new and I think it's a scam, or whatever they feeling is. You know, nobody can actually give me a direct bullshit type of answer, I guess you could say. That's really what it is. You know, everybody can't just, be real about how they feel about a certain thing without even wanting to take the time to learn about it. So this topic in particular is a dive into a spiritual aspect of wealthiness, as well as wealth when it comes to the creations that we create, that we don't have that mentality to believe that they're wealthy when these creations are wealth, because they are from us. We take more time worrying about being compared or in competition with, instead of just being our own individual selves. And if people don't like them, fuck them. If they don't like you, or they don't like what you're creating, they're probably jealous of you anyway. Let's just get that out in the open. Let's just have that conversation. So, thanks to everybody that's joining us, everybody that's in, of course, the Clubhouse. Peace to you, Touch. Peace to you, my brother Sensei. Thanks for coming in. Thanks to being a part of this conversation. How y'all doing this evening?
Greetings and divine awareness. Gratitude for the space and beautiful topic. I'm intrigued to hear the view.
What's good, my brother Sensei? I appreciate that.
That's what he motherfucking said.
Yes, sir.
What's the goddamn deal? Hey, Connie, what's up, beloved sister? What's up, Finesse? Man, you already know, bro. Especially where we are right now. And gratitude for the people in the audience, because dealing with this worth topic and the value, because we're in a time of value, right? So they're dealing with that second house energy, that's Taurus energy, right? We're in Taurus season. So where are your values? Like, or if you're deeming yourself for something more valuable than actually the things that you create, because you're comparing, like, that means you lost in something. And I tell people most of the time we lost in goal setting and shit. Because once you're setting goals, all you bent on is just making this goal happen. So we're raising the bar on survival. So that means you got to be more aware that the things that you're looking for might be already happening. Or are you present for what's happening, though? So now, beautiful topic, bro. You already know I'm with it, baby.
Yes, sir.
Y'all share the room, man. Share the room and all that good stuff. Ping some people in. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. So please click on the house, follow the house, join the club. I do this every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. And follow everybody that's here in the audience. Doesn't matter if they're on stage or not. Please just drop a follow to them. So let's get into this. Becoming wealthy is knowing the value of what you do. The thought when I had created this topic was not in the direction I'm going tonight. The direction I was previously going in was more on
people don't value themselves until someone else values them. We can talk about that shit later. What I'm going to talk about, really, to be honest with you, is we have come to this point in our life where we become wealthy because of what we create. A lot of times it is because of the job, but sometimes it's what we create when we become wealthy. That's what we know of as wealthy. But what people forget to even think about is that by you being present, by you just being who you are, a lot of times we don't even take the time to say, I'm wealthy and I know my time is as well. And I need people to feed into that and understand that, because this shit ain't for free. I take my hard-earned energy because I compassionately give a fuck about, what I do. But I'm not going to just do this shit just because you keep asking me, because my brother Sensei always says this shit. And it didn't even really dawn on me until I was writing this topic out. People would just pull on your energy because they know they can. They would just do it because they know they can. And yet you were supposed to be mindsetting of being wealthy, not just financially, but in spirit. But we can't get those together because the balance is not there. We can't even balance our personal life together to even worry about money. Or we have the money, but our personal life is not balanced because I have too high expectations, or that's what's being told to me, or the expectations that I put out there to me is not high, is that the people can't meet those expectations. But we don't put those same expectations on the shit we create. We're too busy worrying about a relationship we need to be in instead of actually just saying, look, the relationship that I need to be in is the one with me. If that relationship's good, I don't need to explain myself to other people and how you should treat me. It should be right there obvious. It's like talking to a broken record that's really, it's not even broken. There's no needle to play the record. So it's all this valuable information, but there's no way to receive it. But yet, we want to be wealthy. We want that get rich quick scheme, just like we want in life. We want shortcuts to the high road, but never take the middle road to get there. Because sometimes that middle road is the destiny that you need to take instead of trying to climb that damn hill that you ain't never been up to. And it's like, I like a challenge, but you challenge yourself every day to do shit and you still ain't done it. So why the fuck you trying to get up this hill? Please help me understand this. And it's like we have people in our lives that we have high expectations for when we really shouldn't even be expecting a damn thing from anybody. People already know what to expect from me. I'm going to say what the fuck's on my mind, and I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. But I walk within the truth of who I am. And people scarcely come to me when they know that's how I am. Because I'm not going to bullshit a conversation and be like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, fuck your feelings. I'm sorry. You came to me and you want to answer to this, so I'm going to tell you. I refuse to sit here and be just in people's lives and I'm not doing who I'm supposed to be. I'm not representing me. That is in itself, it just costs energy. But people don't even want to waste that. But you waste it with a whole bunch of other motherfuckers like clout chasing and shit. And on social media, wanting to be the first to post this and the first to post this, or to be popular by doing this, that, and the other, when really you can't even be popular in your own fucking life. You're not even the king and queen in your own life because you don't take that opportunity to do that for you. But you looking for validation from somebody else to treat you as a king or a queen. Do we have a deep understanding of people not realizing that the longer it takes us to just sit our ass down and realize we can evolve from whatever shit that put us in this situation or whatever it is that we go through in life, take the time to do what you need to do. If you just do that, you're wealthy because you know your value. Your value is taking care of you. If you don't value you, how can you expect someone to value you? We want someone to validate us and appreciate us which makes absolutely no sense because I don't need no validation. I don't need nobody to validate me. And I'm sure people here don't need people to validate them. But the very conversation that we're having is about value, because how can you be wealthy without knowing your value? The value is you. You are a valuable commodity to yourself. You know why? Because you spend the longest time with you. In the bed, in the bathroom, in the car, washing your ass. It don't matter. You spend that time for you. And if you don't have quality time for yourself, how can you value a whole bunch of other shit when you don't even value you? I mean, I know people that want to take spiritual baths, but they don't need to be in bath water because they ain't washed their ass in a few weeks. They don't need to embarrass themselves like that. I'm just saying. But we all know people that's like that in our lives. They don't even take the opportunity just to accept the fact I'm not there yet. I'm getting there because I'm doing the work. I'm doing what I need to do for me. I'm doing it. And yeah, people may not agree with it. Fuck them. I don't care. You love me for who I am, not for who you want me to be, right? Because if you want me to be something else, then you paying Build-A-Nigga. They got a Build-A-Bear workshop all around the States, but Build-A-Nigga workshops is right here in the spiritual community because that's what a lot of motherfuckers be trying to do, is build a nigga. Instead of just being that person that they need to be. I'm not trying to, don't go out there and try to impress somebody because of your value. Your value is going to be able to speak for itself. Ain't nobody you ain't going to need to sell nothing. They're going to value you just by the whole purpose of you breathing and speaking words and speaking, astonishing things to these people. But the way people are in this day and age is not driven by knowing your wealth. It's about being popular. I'd rather be popular because of what I say than what I'm trying to do. Because that's what a lot of people are trying to get popular for. They're trying to do something to be popular. Don't try to do something to be popular. Just be you. Just be you. You can be popular overnight by you just being you. Everybody's like, no, I just need to have the right, connection and I'm going to be up there. No, you are the connect. You the plug. The problem is that the people think that going to the plug is going to that person that's already successful. No, you already successful. You just don't realize it. You are too busy worrying about what somebody thinks of you or how you got to present yourself to somebody to think of you instead of just being who you are. And they have to accept that that's who you are. That's the whole gift of life. Why you got to mass manipulate yourself to be something just to catch a break so that you can fit in with the in crowd and have a little green in your back pocket? So that you can continue to be this fake ass person that got you to that point? Or you could just be authentically who the fuck you need to be every day and people can accept you for who you are or don't. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's no right and wrong in this conversation other than the fact that if you can't accept you, you can't expect other people to accept the you want them to accept. But that's what we introduce ourselves to people when we're doing these damn, what do we call that? The ain't shit people. The people that do these applications to fucking be in your life, because they do put in applications to be in your life. Ain't shit people do that because they looking for work. And they work you and they get to this point where you're comfortable with them, but you realize they ain't shit. But because you ain't getting your shit together, guess what? Some of that ain't shit ass energy is spilling over to your ass. And now you don't want to accept the fact that you ain't shit. Not because you hang out with ain't shit ass people. It's just the fact that you ain't doing shit about the shit that you need to be doing. But hanging around these ain't shit ass people got you feeling like, damn, I ain't shit either. No, you are shit. You recognize the fact that these ain't shit ass people are around. Let these people that don't want to heal and ain't about shit know the jargon about healing, know the jargon about doing this and self-correction and all these little wonderful things that we do. And self-preservation of knowing who we are, yet you got a crossroads that you're going through. Either you're going to elevate and be the person you need to be, or you're just going to stay stagnant and continue to listen to what's popular and never do anything. I mean, if that's how low you value yourself, then that's fine. But I support people that are for the problem solving instead of creating more problems and not solving shit. And I know Connie getting ready to say something, and I'm sure that there's people that have joined us on the stage, so I'm sure they have something to say. So I want to give them time to be able to speak. So what you got to say, Connie?
No, I was just going to say that,
the way you just articulated the ain't shit piece about people being in your life and that spillage over, you feel it, and it drags with you like a dirty damn trash bag. And until you let it go, it's going to continue to be with you.
That's real. You're right. Absolutely. I 120% agree with that. Touch Sensei. Tanya Danae was good. Cynthia and Paulette is in the building. Peace and love to y'all. Any one of y'all got anything to say based off of the topic tonight or anything that I said?
Ooh, so you hit on a lot of good shit. Especially for the solitude I've been sitting in. But the thing that stuck out the most is how sometimes we give so much that we don't understand our own presence and our own values, right? And then we don't recognize when people come around and take advantage of those things. Or from our perspective, what we can consider to be advantage when it's actually just not us stepping up doing what the fuck we're supposed to do. So they're just utilizing the energy. So I appreciate you for explaining that the way you did, because it definitely happens. I mean, even for myself, I'm bringing aware to that. So I appreciate that. I'm glad I was here to hear that, because it was pretty.
Received. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I really do. Sensei. Damn, every time I call your name, now I want to hear that damn theme music.
You say you already did the music, bro?
Bruh, I'm gonna have to get it from you. So if y'all have not been in one of Sensei's rooms, y'all need to click on his name, follow him, and then go to his house, Healing Time with Sensei 9. He has this theme music when he does it. I mean, it's off the chain, and it fits his personality. I mean, just like real shit. And I'm not just trying to fluff you because you're my bro. I'm just telling you dead ass. That shit is fire. Forget my theme music shit. If y'all was here, bro. If y'all was here with my theme music shit, my shit is just okay.
And your theme music was fly.
You know your shit popping.
I don't give myself credit.
It's what?
I mean, I haven't had to say it tonight, but I appreciate y'all. What you got, brother?
Man, I love everything that you already know, bro. Cause for my life, man, it's been so transformational, and I'm in a place to where I'm so aware of everything that I am. You know what I'm saying? And how sometimes even me being who I am, since my value is not placed in certain things that other people put their values in, a lot of times people don't recognize my value. And the more I know that it's not up to people to recognize that, it makes me recognize it for myself that much more. So it's this level of awareness that I move with. And bro, you already know how much I've cultivated and how much I've sacrificed and let go and walked away, and how much growth and how much I continue to grow and evolve. So it's like sometimes people hear me talk, or people come into my life, or certain things, and even because I'm so open and because I'm so free within who I am, sometimes it makes me feel like I'm too free with my energy. You know what I'm saying? And then I ask myself, wait a minute, is that such a fucking thing? Because if I represent life for its energy, right, my energy is abundant, it is free. And then when I recognize that and take it to a whole nother level, I'm here to extinguish my own life. So it's like when we recognize that we can be in certain situations or entanglements dealing with people because we chose to do it. not because the universe sent you there, not because I got to. You get what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you because I choose to fuck with you. People don't understand the level of awareness that brings. So even the value, it changes at that point. Because I'm not looking for you to recognize my value because I know why I'm here because I am valuable. So the moment I don't need your validation, my value increases. Now what happens is this becomes a thin line for some people because you can actually think that you're bringing something good to people, but you're actually bringing detriment. Now this is why good intention pave the road straight to hell. So that's why really when it comes down to it, when you really eliminate the whole validation and value system, people show you your worth. People show you how much you mean to them. People let you know how much your presence meant in their life. And, you know, I said this to you before, bro, in this world that we live in, how the negative always begins to show up before the positive, right? It takes the positive a little bit while to kind of gestate. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little bit of while to show itself. You know, it's a little bit longer. You know, the negative energies and all that shit flourish way quicker than the good shit do. You know what I'm saying? Just the way this round works. So when you take that into account, you can have 100 people praising and loving you and saying, "Oh my God, this man, this and that," and they love your product or whatever service you provide or whatever angle you want to take it, whatever value that they feel like you brought to their life. You always have 1 or 2 people who will say, "I don't like the experience." It's just inevitable because once you start to realize that you can't please every goddamn body, right? And you're just doing it because you're not doing it you're not showing up because you need a thing, or you're not showing up because I need the money, or I need your presence, so I need you in my life. All I can do is add value. Now I can be in a place to see what are you adding to me. Now, if we take that same concept and use that with everything in our life, yeah, you can run a checks and balance system with shit. What is this shit actually bringing into your life? Is it actually adding to you, or is it taking something away? Is it causing you to bring too much time and energy to it to where it's not producing anything for it? Or are you willing to invest the time and energy into this thing so it can start to produce this thing? Because it takes a tree a while to bear fruit. You know what I'm saying? So we get away from the instant gratification, even when we deal with people on a personal level and needing somebody to come into our life and validate us and make us feel like, okay, now I feel like things are worth living. You know, things are worth doing. You make me feel better about doing what I'm doing. All these different things that we find ourselves doing. Like, because now you living in passion. So because I live a life of devotion, I don't have to be passionate about anything. So when you're devoted to something, like this is saying that my needs are met. My survival needs are met. And all I know is what I see is that's my vision. Anything that's in the process or in the way of that is just in the way. It's just a distraction at that point. So, you know, we're here to create. We're here to, you know, do. We're here to be. We are so many dimensions in one thing. So we really don't, the way we limit ourselves is only based off our outside environment. So that's why I said if we tap into that genius, man, and we just really get away from the needs and the wants and the lacks, you can actually tap into the infinite source of genius that you have. So you can look at life, not your life, but life in general, and say, how can I add to that? What can I bring to this life? You know, what kind of value can I add to humanity that's going to be here even when I'm gone? Now you're dealing with sustainability, right? That's when you deal with motherfuckers that invent shit and they don't never go nowhere. You know what I mean? So we all have that within us, man. So I just tell people to raise the bar on survival because, you know, for us, we traumatized, man. We fucked up as a people, man. Like straight up. We've been through a lot of shit that has our relationship with materialistic shit and especially money all fucked up. It got us all twisted the way we view this materialistic realm because we've seen powerless when it comes to these kind of things. That's why we always trading our time and energy for money, and we truly don't find our own value because you're looking for something that you got to accumulate or achieve to say that you are valuable. Because everything is bent off status, social status. You know, I got to have this amount of followers. I got to have this amount of money. I got to have this amount of people believing in me or whatever the case may be. So life ain't validating people. And I end with this, and I said this in the room yesterday. That was something that I heard You know, when I talk about waking up and even going to sleep and asking yourself, like, what's on your heart? You know, when you wake up, what's stopping you from living your best life, right? And that was something that I heard Grant Cardone say. And it was a hell of a scenario. I loved it. And he asked these two people, he was like, right now, right, what's stopping you from, like, creating your dreams? People going to say money, right? So they say, all right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to solve all your money problems. If I tell you that tomorrow you're going to wake up with $10 million in your bank account, I got you. Like, what will you do with that? I mean, he was like, man, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to do it all. I got so much stuff I already, you know, boom, 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 I'll be straight. So he was like, oh, so you'll be straight? They were like, yeah. The young lady was like, yeah, I'll be straight. I'll be good. He said, so, all right, I'll tell you this. This the only catch, though. You can't wake up. And they were like, wait a minute, right? So he said, so the boy say, the dude say, well, if that's the case, you can keep it. So the girl say, nah, if I can't wake up, I don't want it. So he said, I want to stop y'all right there. He said, you just said that your life is more valuable than money. So why don't we wake up every day living our life like that? Like, bro, it can be that simple, bro. We get so worried about what life is looking like instead of embracing the fact that you are life. And it ain't to those, that's why it ain't to you in the moments of survival when your back is against the wall that you create the best shit. Think about it. When your back is against the wall, you know, man, you know, ain't nobody gonna do it like me. Shit, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't be depending on people to do stuff that you gotta do. Like, all these type of mindsets kick in. You supposed to been like that anyway. And I always tell people how powerful you are. Imagine yourself in a burning building, right? I'm in with this for real. Imagine yourself in a burning building and your legs are broke. There's nobody there to help you, but your apartment is on fire. Now, you know, if you don't get out this apartment, you're going to lose your life. Do you think your broke legs going to stop you from getting out this apartment building, even if you're 3 flights up? Some type of way, somebody going to be watching the news say, man, I don't know how that dude got that apartment building, man. Legs broken, everything. When our back is against the wall, we will supersede our senses. What's locked into our senses is memory, thoughts, and emotions, beliefs, and ideas. These type of fears and things come up with our bodies. Our bodies hold on to these things. So there's a real thing. People say fear is false evidence appearing real. I say bullshit. Fear is real. Because if you start to do something that you never experienced before, your body's going to start to let you know that, wait a minute, I ain't never felt this before. If you start to do something that your body's remembered that it has experienced before, it's going to let you know, wait a minute, I've experienced this before. Both of those can be perceived as fear. Now, when you don't have any awareness with that, that fear will freeze you. You won't know what to do. So all this shit is about raising your awareness, beautiful souls. So yeah, you are the worth, you are the generator, you are the motherfucking system. None of this shit won't be relevant without you anyway. I promise you that. So the money, the people, everything in your life, if you look around, and if you really look at the things, and you ask yourself, what am I grateful for? What are you grateful for, right? What do you appreciate the most in your life? That is something that you will start to see where your value truly lies. And if it isn't something tangible, if it isn't something outside of you that you created, then you might want to see exactly what it is that you're directing your attention into and what you're giving your value to. And I am with that.
Get him. Oh, man, you better get him. Shit. Damn, boy, man, forget what I just said. Damn, that Brad right there, what you said right there was just period. Like, we need to let that breathe for real. I see you down there, Tanya. You got anything to add to the build?
All I was gonna do was shoot my gun and say pew pew pew.
I'm done.
Because I didn't have no real sound effects, right? But now, like I was feeling it. It was even with what Touch said when she was talking about her realization. There's so many things that, for me, I'll just put my eye in it. For me, regardless of whatever I recognize in people that are around me, people that are drawn to me, people that I'm drawn to, ultimately it's something that I'm supposed to be doing. And so to hear that, come from her realization, her awareness, That's been mine, but ignoring it, literally ignoring it. And so since they said just being, like every time I go back to just the being, it's not even about me wanting to be validated. I end up, validating me, and I'm not looking for it. And it's almost like a reminder. So every time that I remind myself, it's the practice of it. And every time that I doubt myself, I realize I'm not practicing to remind myself. So it's like a hamster wheel, originally, but then I feel like a helicopter, more like if the propellers are going up versus the hamster wheel going in the same circle. I'm just like, okay, let me do what I do naturally, but let me actually do what I'm supposed to do. And sometimes that is just being, and in being, I find out what that is. So gratitude for all the shares up to now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Cynthia, Paulette, Armani in the building. I didn't even see Armani down there. Peace and love, brother.
Yes, rich rising and high vibration to the room. First, thank you for this space. That's what I said to you, Cedric, for creating a space. And I'm about to hit the greenhouse and follow this room. And also, thank you, Sensei, for coming into the room as a follower, as one of your followers. I usually, whenever I'm on Clubhouse and I get a notification and I see you popping into a room or you got your room going, I do tend to join. So I appreciate you showing up. And I'm so hey, yo, let me tell you, I'm feeling really good right about now. But not without, digressing and getting off the track of the theme. Becoming wealthy is knowing the value of what you do. That's a powerful theme right there. Much love to that theme. And then I didn't get to hear Connie share or Touch share, but I did hear what you were saying, Cedric, when I came into the room, and I was invited to the stage. Thank you, Sensei. I just want to say this, like you said, some really great, everything that you were saying was so on spot and on target. Like you was a real archman, like you was shooting the target. You were shooting at the target and you gave it all it was like bullseye on every side. And Sensei, you already know, like one of the things that I would say to this theme is that, being authentic. I actually even put a comment in the Clubhouse out in the hallway in the room about, come and join the conversation on being, authentic and, just, being unapologetically, right, who you are, who you be. And that being piece is so real for me. And what I find super positive is in what I've heard, and is that, there's still so much for me to glean and to grow from and to become and to keep being. And even with all of that, it's okay. Like I'm okay, like that validation piece. I heard that word, validate. Like, who can validate me better than me? Like who, like, right? Who can really do that for oneself? Speaking for myself, like it's just me validating me. And can I be real frank and very transparent, which I am. I'm not asking permission. I'm just being courteous about it. I'm always very critical, and I know I got to get better with that. And I know that shadow work and all this stuff I be hearing people talking about. However, I'm always challenging myself to be better, to do better, to want better, or desire better, or all of that. And I don't see that as a thing of the past. I don't see that as tradition. I see it as part of my fabric. Like, I'm just a determined, resilient woman that just wants to do all that I can and give all that I got. And I got a lot to give. I'm on overflow. For real. And so when I, share or speak or talk or not speak or do or not do or whatever, I do as I do. I move as I move. I have my own rhythm. Nobody has to force or enforce or reinforce. None of that. No. Like you said, it's about being and knowing that your value is valued upon your value of oneself. And I value me today. I love me today. I'm considerate of me today. I give me more patience today. I give myself more grace today. And you want to know why? So I can give other people grace. So I can give other people and be patient with others. Because if I ain't patient with me, I damn sure ain't going to be patient with nobody. If I don't give myself grace, I'm not giving nobody grace. So, yeah, my value, my wealthy place, knowing my value, what I do, and what I do is what I do, and what I be is who I be unapologetically, because I am who I am, and that's that. And I appreciate this room. I yield the mic. Thank you for listening. I'm sending peace, love, and light to everyone under the sound of my voice that can hear what I'm saying and feel what I'm saying. I send light, love, and peace to you and your families.
Man, she let it go right there. I appreciate you. That was on point.
Gratitude.
Facts. That was fire. That was much needed. And that was just confirmation. And I typically don't do this, but I think people have just getting to know me because, like I said, I've been on Clubhouse for a while, but I haven't really hosted a lot of rooms or anything. I've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years now, but it's really my maybe third opportunity just to actually do it on Clubhouse because I actually love the platform and the people that I have run into contact with. So before we get into the last two people that are on the stage, and I open the floor for anybody else that comes in, comes out, because you see that as a revolving door. That's why I love Clubhouse. People will come in and come out. They'll come into the conversation that they love to hear about, and when they're talking about their ass, they don't want to do the healing, so they'll dip out. So a little thing about me is I was never, I guess, like a person that wanted to be up front in front of everybody. I never wanted to be like that person on stage or have that focal point. But, and a lot of it had to deal with what I deal with personally. And most of the people that know me know I'm retired military and that I suffer from PTSD and anxiety. But the one thing that they don't know is that my voice was not always my voice. It was always in a closet that I kept because I didn't like to voice my opinion, because every time I did, nobody agreed with what I said. They were just like, yeah, fuck you, whatever. And believe it or not, I haven't changed. I never changed how I communicated with people. I just suppressed it. Not because I was ashamed, not because I felt like I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Completely. I'm an asshole. Sometimes I don't know that soft spot. As I'm getting older, I mean, I'm almost 50. So yeah, I know that soft spot. But sometimes I don't care about that soft spot, because when it comes to healing and it comes to accepting you for who you need to be, I'm a firm believer in putting a foot in people's ass and say, you know what? Stop waiting on somebody to tell you to do it and just fucking do it. What are you waiting for? Somebody to tell you that, no, I know what it is. You're waiting to be judged. You want somebody to judge your ass, right? So it's like you don't want nobody to judge you, but you really deep down inside want somebody to judge you. Stopped all that. That's why I was just like, you know what? I got to be who I need to be. So again, Paulette and Armani, I would love to hear from y'all. Anybody else that would like to come on stage, please raise your hand and let us know.
Thank you. Peace to the room. I actually got some shit to say. I want to get a little personal. Definitely my type of room talking about value. And funny enough, I just had a realization about value last night and today, living this whole thing out. So it's like perfect timing for me for my share. And basically, I'm just, we learn more and more about our value every day. And for me, a lot of times in my experience, people, they just don't understand and they don't relate. We all got different lives. We live in different lifestyles. And as a business owner, a lot of people just don't understand what you go through, what it takes. They don't know the day to day. You tell them you got a business. Oh, okay. It's different levels, of course. But for me, I just wanted to share about this recent experience walking away from my biggest client. She would be like 3 large clients for me, like on the average of what I get per client. So I'm making about $6,000 on her project each month, about $8,000 for the year. Is what I'm looking forward to. And I'm about ready to cut that off because sometimes in relationships like that, people want to see you work hard for the money. Like they have an idea of how hard that you should be working. And a lot of times people try to make your job harder than it needs to be. And for me, I'd rather be poor and happy than to be rich and miserable. And a lot of people, even my team is like, try this and try that. But, if it's not going to be some changes, I'm going to have to walk away from that money because when you're running a business, you need structure and you need organization. And you need to be professional. So when you have relationships and you build it and people are always, this is professional relationships, they always showing up unprepared. They showing up, don't have their shit together. They always got an excuse. They always leaning on you, want you to fix all their fucking problems. They always late to the meeting. They always cancel reschedule. So, the little story about crying wolf and the wolf ain't there, then you cry for the motherfucker there. Don't nobody come to you always crying wolf all the fucking time and ain't no wolf. So this is the type of shit that I'm going through. Well, I'm just going to have to say enough is enough. I already spoke my piece and I said, you making my job harder than it is. And, that just didn't go well. People don't want to hear that shit. So she like, well, I can't be having you telling me you stressed out or I'm stressing you out every time some shit come up. But if I've been with you for 8 months and every motherfucking day, everything needs to be done the same day, everything is an emergency, everything is fucked up, and I don't see your organization moving forward, then what am I doing? Why would I want to be associated with a company like that or organization like that? So it's just not all about the money. That's just like coaches. They got clients and shit. They pay them $5,000 a month. But if the client not showing up in the sessions and not doing the work and shit, and they just said want to give you their fucking money, like, that's not fulfilling. Who want to just sit up and take your money and you not doing the work? You not doing shit. You just paying me. I'm just taking your money. No. So it's a value to my time and my fucking effort. If I'm always delivering this amazing shit and it's never published and different things like that, it's like, what am I doing? My work is purposeful. It's intentional. My time, all of that. And so, yeah, money is not. It's not all about money. The wealth shit is more to it than money. And then also I wanted to throw in there about this whole dating field. These men who's out here or whoever who looking to be in relationships with other people. You know, on a personal note, it's been 8 months since I've been sexual with someone, and I'm constantly have to turn down people, you know, and it's kind of like it's uncomfortable to always have to say no. You keep telling a motherfucker no all the time, like you have to keep reinforcing your boundaries. Nobody want to do that. So if it's always no, then what the fuck is we doing? We must don't have shit doing. We're not doing nothing. So
no value.
We have to be very careful out here, especially as a single female raising a young boy who's 5. Nigga, if I do smoke and drink, that don't mean you finna come over here and smoke and drink with me. Who the fuck does that? Like, if I'm telling you no, we had a conversation and then you texting and calling me. This one conversation I just made. Okay, I just said, okay, I'm gonna get my number out. So one conversation and then this no, we got the phone. You calling and texting me several fucking times with no answer for days off of one fucking phone call. People are sick out here. It's a fucking shame. And so people still doing the same shit, want to have sex. I done been through it. I did my shit, right? So that's how I'm able to be at this point. I'm not looking for no motherfucking sex. What the fuck is that? My motherfucking values is not that nice. You might look at me and you can't tell all the fucking values that I have for myself because I am not fucking going. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, you have to be careful because this motherfucker came at me like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Cussing me out and shit on the text. And I have to say, you know, I said no how many times? Like, so what? I didn't feel like I had to tell you don't call and text me no more. If I'm not answering and I'm not texting you back, then damn, let that shit roll off. I don't owe you shit. I don't even fucking know you like that. So anyway, I just wanted to share those things because when you're talking about value, that's a whole lot of motherfucking shit to talk about. So I'm gonna close my mic. Thank you.
Hey, hold up. Hold the hell up. Hold the hell up. Okay.
She done brought some heaters up in there.
Bruh, I gotta get some more sound bites. She just like,
oh, okay.
Bruh, she brought really, nigga? She has a gun that has not been reloaded the whole damn fucking time she talked. She brought an unlimited clip in this fucking room. I appreciate that energy. You know why? Because we all needed to hear that.
Somebody needed to hear it.
We all needed to hear it, and yes, somebody needed to hear that shit.
Sure did.
For sure.
Man, damn. If y'all ain't following her, y'all need to follow her. Like, real talk. Because, and everybody that's on the stage. Armani, you've been in the building for a minute, brother. What's good?
Peace and love to the room. Gratitude. Said, how you feeling? Peace and love to the room. And that's what I said. Gratitude to the bill, man. Loving the bill so far.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Anytime you feel like you can add to the convo, please, just without question, go ahead, brother. I wanted to get back on this conversation we were having real quick, and I felt like I needed to say this before I continue on with my podcast. A lot of times we sit here in retrospect, not even just in the comparisons, but in just in retrospect, we think about who is in our lives and have the thought that if this person just was a piece of shit, wasn't loyal, whatever the case may be, and they were gone, where would that leave us? I can say 90% of the time better off than when you was. Because people that are not loyal, they're only in your life temporarily anyway. They're teaching you a lesson and they're carrying on with they fuck shit. It's like water off of a duck's back. They'll shake that shit off and get more water on it and keep shaking that shit off. It's just water off of a duck's back. They don't give a fuck. They never have gave a fuck. So sometimes we need to evaluate, going back to that ain't shit energy, but really it's just evaluate what we do. We value it, obviously. If we're in business, we're entrepreneurs, we're book writers, we're activists, we herbalists, whatever it is, we have a passion to do this shit. Podcasters, rappers, music artists, actors, whatever it is that you do, there's a passion behind it. And obviously, you know your value, you know your worth. But see, something that I'm going back to what Paulette said, something that Paulette said is exactly the problem. Some people don't even see the value in you, or they see the value, but they want to know how they can actually, capitalize on that shit.
Really, nigga?
That's just reality. It's I need to do better. And the only way I see myself doing better is getting by somebody, getting next to somebody that's doing better than my sorry ass. But I know that, she gonna take care of me because all I gotta do is do the whoop wham and the wop wop. No, you just need to take that lazy ass dick somewhere else. But don't get it twisted. This ain't just a one-way conversation. I ain't just talking about dudes, because there's women out here that are the same way, and they don't necessarily take advantage of the guy, but they take advantage of women. They take advantage of the people around them. They know everybody's value, and they look as an addition. It's a math problem to them. They can add all the people that could do all the good that they can't do, so that they can be better. And then when they're on top and they're above you, because that's how they present themselves as, that person that is better than you. They might not necessarily say it, but it's just the words they use. When you have those type of people that ain't shit energy that's in your life, allow that ain't shit energy to expel itself, because it's going to tell on itself.
Man.
It's like Halloween. It's like Halloween, like for real. People will just show up just in that moment to show you who the fuck they are. And then it's decision time. It's like you taking the SATs and you got to figure out if you're going to abracadabra this motherfucker or you going to actually answer these bitches. That's exactly how it is.
For real.
It's like, do I feel like I need to deal with this shit, or can I deal with this in balance? It goes back to something that Paulette said. Yes or no? Sometimes we don't want to say no to people because we don't want to disappoint them. We know what that's going to put them into. But see, some people need to heal from their own shit, because anybody that's on this stage that knows me personally will tell you I have said no a plenty of times. And it's not just a no. I'm going to tell you why. Because if there's nothing that is going to be a value of a growth of whatever is being created, I'm not doing it. I don't give a damn what it is. If we all can't grow from a creation that we create, and it's just you wanting the attention, do it on that. Do it over there. You was doing fine before you knew me or before you came in contact with me. So why now?
Oop.
So don't always think that it's you. You can make a decision today that, you're not going to deal with certain shit. And guess what? Universe heard that shit. We're going to test that theory out, though. We're going to test that shit out. We're going to see if you talking shit. We're going to test it out. And they going to send a nigga to test that shit out. Your energy going to line up with somebody that's going to test that theory. And you know what? That is the one time that you need to pay attention. Because if you don't pay attention, it's going to be a fucking cycle. It's going to be Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus in this bitch, because everything going to be a goddamn circle and you're going to be the center of a fucking tension. Because guess what? Your ass ain't healing. You just making excuses and you talking big shit. But at the same time, when it comes to present that fucking, that presentation that you need to present, you ain't ready. You need more time. You need more time. Guess what? I guarantee the motherfuckers that got all the time in the world are those people that keep coming up to you talking about they want some ass or they want some attention or why you ain't never giving me the opportunity to do this or whoop wham, whatever the case may be. Everybody's going to sell whatever the hell they need to sell to get your attention. The problem is, are you paying attention or are you worrying about how you need to feel tomorrow? You know what you need to do. Don't wait for somebody to grab your attention when really they just trying to get your attention to get something out of you. They ain't trying to make sure that they put something in you, which is the loyalty and the love that they need to put. No, they too busy wanting to have sex with you, or they too busy wanting to take away from you, or trying to make sure that they're above you. Knowing your value is always going to be wealthy, especially when you acknowledge the people around you and what you accept and don't accept. And what you're not going to accept, don't entertain it, because now you're an entertainer. And it goes back to what my brother Sensei was talking about. We too busy worrying about entertaining people and becoming these actors and actresses for these fucking movies. But we can't remember the lines that we need to remember to actually be a part of this fucking storyline, because the storylines that y'all write are the ones that you put yourself in. These fucked up situations, guess what? These are the movies that you want to continue to watch. Most people that put themselves in fucked up situations watch reality TV, and this is the scenarios that they live in. Instead of actually healing and being the worth that they need to be in somebody's life, they too busy trying to live this reality bullshit. You can't be wealthy living the reality of what somebody got. They got like $15 billion and your ass sitting around here worrying about if you can keep your fucking lights on, but you worrying about this nigga that's supposed to slide through, right? So that he can give you some money so that you can take care of the shit that you created. No, see, we got to get out of that mentality, because it's not even just the men doing it, it's the women too. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not make this a gender reveal party and everybody's saying that, oh, he wants to talk about the women and how they do it to men. But guess what? Men doing the same shit to women and women doing the same shit to men. So guess what? We all can have a party and talk shit about each other. But at the end of the day, everybody going to sit there and be looking at each other the same fucking way. I don't know. I don't know why I did it. But that's how we figure out that we don't really value ourselves, because we don't know how to get there. We make assumptions all the time because we want to be crash test dummies instead of knowing, because we all know what we need to do. We just make excuses and live behind all these damn, wannabe conversations with other people to sound better than them. When the doors are closed and the phone is on the charger and you laying your head down on the pillow, that's the person you live with. Regardless of what you say to all these other motherfuckers out here, that's the person you live with. And if you don't value that person enough, you can't lie to everybody else and expect these people to believe the bullshit out of your mouth. But guess what? You probably have a good circle of people that's going to believe you. You will have a good circle of people that's going to believe you. That don't mean that they trust your ass. None of the shit coming out of your mouth might not be true. That don't mean they trust your ass. They may know you a lying piece of shit. And the only reason why they're around is because they actually want to see you heal. But your ass will keep on lying. Your ass will keep on making stories up. Your ass will keep doing that shit only because that's all you fucking know. It's like all you know is to lie. All you know is to make stories. Come up with these nice little scenarios. You should write soap opera with all the fucking scenarios you got in your fucking mind. But you know what? The reality is that nobody will pay attention to that because you're the real life soap opera. Why would they have to pay for it? They see it every fucking day, especially on social media. I don't know why they don't like me. Fuck that bitch. Blah, blah, blah. Every fucking day, everybody's in your life and you don't know why everybody's not in your life because you don't value yourself. I don't put every fucking thing on Facebook. I put just enough to keep people informed about who the fuck I am and I'm breathing. Other than that, people wouldn't know if I'm breathing or not. And guess what? That's okay for me. Because those same people don't support half the shit I do. So why the fuck do I need to let them know when I have great accomplishments going on in my life? When I became a grandfather, it was something I felt proud about putting on Facebook because a lot of people that's on my Facebook are close to me. But see, I do my podcast every Saturday at 8:30. Do you think those same fucking 300 people that liked and loved that post is on this fucking podcast? Hell no. And that's the same thing that's going to happen when you value you. You're going to piss somebody off because they don't value themselves and they're going to think you too good for you. Value you more. And like my brother Sensei says, and I know he going to say it, fuck them people. I know he going to say it. So anybody.
Fuck them people. Fucking with handcuffs on and Bernie Mac boys.
Shit. I'm just saying. So with that being said, y'all, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I know it's a Saturday night and it's late. It's 9:45. And when I do these rooms, I try not to be longer than an hour, hour and a half, only because, we can get into a longer conversation, which we could at a later time period. But I'm still trying to get my feet wet with this Clubhouse thing. And I want people to really kind of catch the vibe and see how it is for me to be in these Clubhouse streets and be able to actually interact with a lot of people and have these conversations that we need to have and come to the table with a fork and knife and not worrying about stabbing somebody, but actually being fed by everybody's information, not just coming from me, everybody's information, because as a collective, we are we, not about me. It's about we. But when it comes to me, I value me first. So when I got to take time for me, guess what? I'm going to do that. But I'm about the we. I'm about helping the collective. I'm not about hurting it. I'm not about judging it. I give a fuck about everybody. I love everybody. But at the same time, when you don't love you, don't expect me to just explain to you why I love you when you can't even say that to you. You got to be able to do it for you. Because I love when I see people loving on them. Because that means that person appreciates themselves regardless of what they may be going through. We could be lonely as hell and going through the worst times of our lives. But we have people that actually love us. And it may only fit a small void of space. But some people need more love than that. And it's okay to feel that way. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end with this. And I'm going to pass it over to my wife so she can say her goodbyes for the evening. What we value sometimes is materialistic. But when we're not wealthy on ourselves, to actually admit that fact, that's when we need to start deprocessing a lot of things. We got to start deprogramming our things. Even with people that have access to a lot of money but can't save it. You need to go through a process of just deprogramming things. Because you can't just touch 6 figures a year, regardless of how much you touch. It could be, let's say, $40,000 a year. You can't just touch that money and just say, I'm comfortable because you have a place to stay and everything else. You can't just be comfortable there. And everybody wants to say, why? Don't you have a legacy? Don't you have a legacy to where you don't want your DNA to have to do the same thing that you did to come aware of this shit and then become wealthy? Whereas some people didn't just become aware of it. They're just wealthy because they provide. But see, they don't have all the wealth. And wealth is not just about great relationships. Sometimes that wealth means a good relationship with self. You can have many great relationships with people. That don't mean that the relationship you should have with yourself is actually happening. And that's what we need to be doing, is actually having better relationships with ourselves and surrounding ourselves with people that want us to have those relationships. So with that being said, I'll pass it over to Connie before we sign off.
Gratitude for everybody joining us this evening and being up on stage and putting out their information and knowing their own value. Gratitude to my husband for just, man, you knocked the socks out of the park tonight. I'm just saying. Peace and love, everyone. Have a great weekend.
I'm mad you said the socks, and you know I hate the socks, but that's not the point.
I know.
Anyway, peace and love to y'all. Everybody on stage, I appreciate the love and energy. I will be back next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. If you don't have the opportunity to join me on Clubhouse during these live podcasts, you can also join me on Spreaker, where it's live. You can also join me on Facebook or Instagram. That's what I said. Just type in "That's What I Said" at any search bar. You should be able to find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Spreaker.com, and of course now Clubhouse. So with that being said, y'all, peace and love. I really appreciate the energy, And we out. Peace.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders. That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
You eat ass with a baby spoon.